My name is Jorge Alvarez Jarreta, and I am the project leader of Ensembl Metazoa plants. Basically, we are in charge of selecting the assembly annotations to go into Ensembl for non-vertebrate metazoans, so animals and plants. So we are moving into this centralized module system similar to what NF Core has, but obviously sometimes we have more internal modules that are not as generic or useful for the community to put them in NF Core, but still useful for maybe an EBI level because we tend to do things more or less similarly. So the idea is like, okay, we have our pylons with our modules, let's centralize them into somewhere. The end goal is to actually create an EBI central repository, but it's still on the works. So at the moment we are doing an Ensembl one for the starters. So obviously we are going to be following as much as possible all the NF Core practices and community practices. It's not like we are steering away from it, but we know that NF Core has some stricter approaches on the modules have to be generic enough for be of use for communities, etc. So obviously we know some of these bits won't be, but we still want to put them centralized. So maybe people can still find them outside DBI, but mostly inside DBI also to share across EBI, like people with more Nextflow experience and knowledge can be acknowledged and also be seen by other people that might be starting and say like, oh, I don't know how to do this. They go to this repo and say like, oh, this person who is in my same building, just one floor up, can go and chat with them. And that's one of the things also we want to do, which is engage more with the community. That's one of the things before Ensembl had its own workflow manager, which was built in-house. So obviously you have that kind of more, also is less portable. So you can see like when we start engaging with collaborators, sometimes they want to run our pylons to do. So they say like, oh, can we run it for you? Because it's easier for us to do it and then just give you the data. And we have found that way more difficult because obviously if you have your own processes in-house, they work really well with your cluster or whatever, but then, so basically that's why another reason why aligning to standards is so important. It's like, okay, now we do a proper Nextflow pylon with a proper containerization, etc., etc., etc. Then we tell the collaborators just basically go here, pull this repo, run it, done. So that's an amazing thing that the community is doing. And I think that's why we are trying to also give back because they're giving us so much that it's like, okay,